Most of you know that I have cancer, and I got diagnosed 2 years ago, and I'm currently in treatment. And it has been a absolute wild journey because you never really expect your doctor to sit across the table from you and say you have cancer, but he did, and we're dealing with it. So um, we are at a really, really progressive and targeted treatment process for my cancer. And in doing that, it's a very holistic approach. So it's spirit, body, nutrition, and then kind of exercise, and a variety of different things go into it. But the video last week was Buff and I spend probably about an hour and a half each week putting all my medicine out. It's a lot. But I've been under it for 2 months, ballpark. Very, very targeted. The first month was just, hey, we know this works. The second month has been very targeted, specific to my cancer. But we have gotten a reduction in my PSA of 20%, which is very good. And for those, PSA is it's an acid that's in your blood that is a representation and a marker for prostate issues. And ultimately, you want your PSA to be as low as possible. But mine dropped an entire point. So we know it's working.
Me too.
But yeah,
Keep on.
Yeah, it's this one here has picked up the brunt. Runs things. Keeps my medicine in check. Keeps me in check. Very defensive of my time. Make sure that I'm doing what I should be doing. I'm eating what I should be eating. I'm drinking what I should be drinking. I'm doing all of the things that need to be done. And, it's people don't see behind the scenes. And that's kind of the purpose of that video. The protocol came in, and I believe the protocol for my treatment, and I believe it was 10 pages long. And you could see around the table all of the different pill bottles and things. And I think it took Buff 3.5, 4 hours to go through everything and map it out in her little engineering brain and spreadsheet that she does, to make sure we know exactly what's when and how and where and why and everything. And the interesting part, there's been a lot of people who have come back and, oh, you're taking too much medicine and you're doing this and you're doing that. Mm-hmm. Everything that I'm taking is natural and organic and is doing one of three things for me. It is increasing my testosterone. It is enhancing my immune system, or it's killing cancer. And outside of that, There's nothing that I'm taking. There's a lot of vitamin D, a lot of vitamin C, and matcha, and everything that goes in my body. Either Buff or I do research on, and we sit and talk to the doctor. Why am I taking this, and what's it doing? And it's again a very targeted process. And I had a conversation with my doc yesterday, because some people have reached out and said, "Hey, I know you're going through this. What kind of doc do you have, and how are you doing things and everything?" And one of the guys that I've been talking to, his dad has stage 4 cancer, and I talked to my doc about it, and he's like, "Dude, we beat it. We beat stage 4," and that's the beauty of this. It is, and we had a long conversation about this yesterday, after I finished my treatment, and because I always want to know, why isn't everybody doing this, and why isn't this the way? And there's no answer for that. So that's just like that rhetorical question of things. But what the doc told me was, all of this that I'm doing is, yes, going to kill cancer. The ultimate goal is to have 0 cancer cells in my body. And I asked him, and I said, okay, so if we beat the prostate cancer, will I be prone to have another type of cancer? And the general consensus is no, because we are enhancing your body to the point of being able to fight cancer all the way around. And your body won't be a hospitable platform for cancer to live in. Which kind of boggles my mind. And, I haven't wrapped my head around it yet, but I have to go with it because the results just speak for themselves. But, I went in Tuesday, and normally my IV is clear. It's peptides and other stuff, but it's all clear. Tuesday was goopy brown. And, she gave me an IV, and I'm sitting there, and within 3 seconds,
You could taste it.
oh, I could taste all of the vitamins that were there. And there were a lot of B vitamins, a lot of D vitamins, a lot of C vitamins, and then there's all other peptides and all other kind of things that are involved with that. And then Wednesday I came in, and it was blue, and it's methylene blue. And you guys know that I've been dealing with PTSD as well, and I'm with a group of special operations guys, and they were talking about methylene blue a couple of weeks ago. And, I kind of read all this stuff, and there's guys trying different things and doctors that are saying different things and all of that. And I brought up a post that, one of the guys had put in our chat about methylene blue, and the doc's like, yeah, absolutely. This is one of the best things going. And it does something on the cellular level to affect the way the cancer cell gets sugar and oxygen. And I'll probably get it wrong, but if cancer thrives on sugar, it reduces it. And if it thrives on low oxygen, it oxygenates it. It does exactly the opposite of what the cancer cell wants. And it was very interesting to get that. And then the bet was, what color are you going to get on Thursday? And we were all betting yellow, but it turned out to be the brown stuff again. But, all in all, I think that if you ever get into a situation of having to figure out what to do with cancer, what I would tell you is take a step back, find doctors, but find multiple doctors to get a bunch of opinions on what's going on. Because I'll tell you, the first doctor that I went to, and I won't say where or anything, but I went to a doc that came highly regarded. And the first thing that they wanted to do was remove every ounce of testosterone from my body as quickly as they could and put me into women's menopause. Inject me with estrogen every week for a year. And they told me you'll have hot flashes, you'll have big boobs and, whatever, all that stuff that goes on when women go through menopause, you will get all of that as a guy. And then they said, we're going to implant radioactive pellets and we are going to do 10 weeks of radiation. And oh, by the way, in 10 years, you're probably going to get another cancer because of all the radiation we're going to give you. And colorectal, bladder, something like that. And didn't feel right. And then we went up to another traditional place, and they validated the diagnosis, of where I was and the level and the severity. And, again, right, surgeon, I want to operate. I want to remove the prostate. Or radiation guys, I want to radiate. And none of that felt right. I'm 58 years old. Hopefully a lot of life left, and trying to do everything you can to preserve, because either when you get your prostate out or you get radiation, there's a lot of side effects that come in to all of that with quality of life and different things. And, I think all the docs agree, like, I'm not at the risk of dying tomorrow. So my urgency of taking action is not imminent. It is, do what's appropriate, what you feel right, and what's needed. And, we, being the faith people that we are, came back and basically turned it over to God and said, tell me where you want me to go. If you tell me surgery's it, it's what we'll do. You tell me radiation's it, it's what we'll do. And I don't know, 10 days later, Chris came in and we started talking about cancer. And he was like, dude, you got to go meet my buddy. Known him for 30 years. He's doing great things up in Knoxville, and man of faith, Christian guy. Everything about the entire practice is Christian. I went up, I met with him. We exchanged scripture. I think we prayed like 3 times that trip. Every day before you leave, everybody gets in a circle, hold hands and pray. And, it's a very, your faith and your religion and your outlook play a big part into kind of what's going to happen. And, the doc was talking about it yesterday, and I firmly believe that. And, can you, ask God to heal me? Yeah, absolutely. And I ask him that all the time. Is that his plan? I have no idea, but I have faith that it is, because he'll tell you in scripture, you come to me with an illness and I will cure. He's the great physician. He's the man, but everything is his will and his time. And we had a long conversation about this the other day, about medicine's been coming sporadically. And I don't even know that I'm on everything that I will eventually be taking. But, for me, I just want to start taking it. I want to start getting it in and doing things. And, I think I think you summed it up best with, it's coming sporadically to make sure that we have a handle on how to do it, when to do it,
Mm-hmm.
the whole process around, making sure that I'm staying, because just matcha, for instance, matcha tea. He wants me to drink as much matcha tea as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, I try to drink a lot, but there's only so much matcha tea you can drink, and all of those pills, I think I'm at 62 or 65 pills a day over 7 different times that I have to take pills, some with food, some without food. Then there are 5 things that I take either liquid or underneath my tongue. And then there's shots and there's IVs and there's colonics. So it's we were joking yesterday. It's a full-time job, to kind of make sure. And then he wants me working out. He wants me sleeping well, and he wants me eating a keto diet, and a lot of different things. So it's the ability to go into it with faith, I guess, is what it boils down to.
You're doing great.
But at the end of the day, you have no idea. You wake up, put a smile on, get out, take your medicine, do what you're doing, and pray you're going to live until tomorrow, and do whatever. And like I said, this is not, I don't have stage 4 cancer, and I'm not in hospice, and I'm not all of that. But, it's people have made reference to me that, life is hard, but having cancer and things just adds up. And on one hand, yeah, I kind of see that. But on the other hand, it it boils down to faith, I guess, more than anything. That, we have talked to God at length and said, tell us what to do, tell us where to go, what to do, what you want us to do. And whatever that is, we joke about, you want us to go to the beach and sell popsicles on a bicycle cart. That's what we'll do. I have, have no problem with that. And, but, I, it goes back to, for me, I'm where God wants me at this point in time. And in this, I, in my heart of hearts, believe that, as Mark Jordan says, take your messes and make them your messages. This will give me the ability to meet others where they are, hopefully to help if they need, doctor options or treatment options, or just somebody to listen and talk to. Where, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have any idea what to say, what to do, how they feel, what's going on. But it's, It's not over. I think there's more to the story. I think that, we have a lot of plans with Outer Circle and with Few and with the kids and with the church
In the
and
community.
in the community,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
things that we want to do to bring change and better, especially to Paulding County and to those that we're here to help and serve. But just, I guess the purpose of this to just let you know that there's more to the story than just the words or what you see. There's a lot of things that go on the back end that just people don't really see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there. Doc wanted me to look at a treatment facility that they're partnering with, and I went yesterday and on it. And one of their very first things is, don't fight this alone. And they were like, we highly encourage you to bring someone with you, family member, your significant other, your best friend, whoever it is, whoever your person is. And I sent, when he mentioned this place, I sent Buff a message and I said, hey, Doc may want me to go here. And she was like, when? I said, I'm not really sure yet. And she goes, do I get to go? And my as you guys know, if you know us, you know that wherever I am, she is. Wherever she is, I am. For the most part, right? There are times when we're not together. But my response to her was, "You're not going. I'm not going," and just the way it is. It's this is. I never viewed this as a fight, but it is a fight. It is a big old fight, and everything that I'm doing is strengthening the body to fight better, harder, faster than what the cancer can fight. And yes, the medicine's a piece of it, but again, I go back to faith and companionship and unity and community and your tribe and all of that. I gave a couple of posts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when I was in, and just overwhelmed at the responses of some that have had cancer, some that are going through cancer, some that have never dealt with cancer. But, everyone, keep praying, keep the faith, keep it up, and it's amazing to see that. And thank you for everything. And I just look at my, I'm not going to minimize it, but I will. What I have is nothing compared to what others are going through with multiple surgeries and chemotherapy and radiation and this and that and the other. And, I definitely feel for everyone doing that. And, we are always here to talk, help, and listen in any way. And sometimes that neutral or new sounding board is good to talk to. But yeah, so thank you for everything.